Hey!
What's going on, guys?
You thought I was gonna sing, but I'm
not.
Going
to do something.
No, I'm not gonna do you.
You're gonna do something.
Hey,
What's
y'all.
going on, y'all? This is Thunder.
And that's Phalcon. Listen, okay.
What you want to talk about?
I want to talk about HIV criminalization. I saw this blog by Mark. I'm gonna get your name right.
HIV criminalization.
HIV criminalization.
HIV criminalization.
I said HIV criminalization, honey. I actually saw this this writing by a blogster named Mark S. King. He's an HIV/AIDS advocate, and he has a great blog that they also have on pause.com.
Oh, okay. The magazine.
The magazine,
okay.
Pause, P-O-Z. So they had this conference called The Powerful HIV is Not a Crime conference, and it was about how we are being sent to jail for quote-unquote exposing people to HIV. Now, some of the ways of the exposure, now I know that sounds really crazy. They just had this case in Atlanta about this pastor, and this is just pretty much the gift of it. He apparently had sex with this lady. He had HIV, and she said that he had it unprotected, but she didn't end up with HIV. But he still ended up going to prison or to jail for quote unquote endangering her. It is.
You do. He was on file that he had HIV, right?
Yes.
So he didn't. His crime was that he didn't tell her.
No, he said that he told her. She said that he didn't. So now it's he said, she said.
Oh, okay.
Okay.
But if he did tell her, and they had sex, what's the?
I mean, but at the end of the day, what can you do in a court of law other than say, "Well, I did tell her"? No, he didn't tell me. He did that. She could be a jilted lover. She could be a whole bunch of things. Okay. So I guess what. Then let's kind of get into the specifics. What is HIV criminalization? Okay. HIV specific laws against exposure to the virus. And some people in the court of law, prosecutors have even said biting and spitting is exposure or kind of like exposure to the virus when you don't get HIV from biting or spitting. I mean, no, you get HIV
anyway.
Yeah, but you only get HIV through what? Through sexual contact or needles and mother to child, which is not anymore because you have meds in order to take, for
the mother can take.
The mother can take, right?
So she then transfer it to the child.
Thank you. So, and the second thing is prosecution under existing laws can make even severe sentences or oppose severe sentences for the person, and sentencing can be enhanced. Like say for instance, you say that I gave you HIV, I tell you I didn't, but the my jury, the jury of my peers say that yes I did, and it's reasonable doubt, and he did it. They can, instead of giving me 4 years, they can give me up to 10, sometimes life in prison. Wow. There are people who are now serving life because of he said, she said. So the whole HIV criminalization, now there are laws specifically for people who have, given someone HIV intentionally. But the whole he said, she said, come on.
So there's not just a straight flat all states, or this is the law. Every state has a different law.
Every state has a different law, and that's Idaho. I think that's what we were looking at. Idaho just changed their laws for specific, HIV situations, that actually happen. Some of the stuff such as biting or spitting or. They're gonna just throw that out.
They're taking that away. They're not adding nothing.
Yeah, they're probably rehasing and kind of making it a little better to fit specifics. I can understand back in the 80s, no one knew what it was and so on and so forth. But to give people life nowadays, and some people have to register as a sex offender.
If you're HIV positive.
If you're HIV positive.
All right, what they got? So what they got to do with the sex offender, right?
That's what I'm saying. Like some of the laws.
I'll be like, I'm not signing.
Yeah,
you're gonna get me on that.
Yeah, I'm not gonna be. I'm not. You gotta register as a sex offender. So I guess people feel as if the people who are HIV positive shouldn't be having sex. Well, I beg to differ, sir. Use a condom, and whether I'm HIV positive or not, use a condom. Tell people that you are HIV positive, and again. I don't know, because it could be somebody in my future who say, no, he never told me. Well, girl, that's a lie, because you can Google me.
I tell everybody y'all.
I tell,
anyway.
right.
It don't matter. It don't matter.
Yeah, that's like.
I have to.
Mm-hmm.
It'll mess with my conscience.
Really?
I mean, it would. If
Yeah.
I still had nothing to tell nobody, I'd be like, oh Lord, I gotta tell them. It would just mess my head.
Well, me personally, I just like to tell it to make it open. Just like I tell people I'm gay, just like people can see I'm black. Well, I want you to know that I am HIV positive also.
You gay. You gay as shit. I gotta cuss. I'm sorry. You gay. You gay.
You the one, honey, with your legs crossed.
Down,
yeah, y'all see them shorts she got on? That lets you know that our tops can be cute.
She's gym short. Oh, basketball player. I can't play
That's the criminalization right there, honey.
That shirt's the criminalization.
Girl, this is Frederick Douglass.
Faded. I ain't doing this.
I love y'all. Listen, but again, I thank you for our different topics about HIV criminalization.
I'm trying to get my shorts again.
No, girl, I just had to get it right. But I do wanted us to kind of talk about HIV criminalization and what are some of the things that we can do in order to stop it, you know, the whole criminalization. Get into your community, especially different HIV organizations surrounding your community, and see what they're doing about HIV criminalization. See what the laws are in your state. Check that out, because if you are HIV positive and you know you're having sex with someone can easily say that they're endangering me. I actually had a boyfriend who called me when he was ticked off, and after we had broken up, and he said that you endangered me. So that could have went any type of way. Serious, girl. And I would have been trying to fight for my life.
I ain't gonna
So
I had your back. You know,
yeah, check out the. You know, so silly.
I'm trying not to say nothing about it.
No, stay focused.
I'm here. I promise you. I'm here.
You endangered me. Listen. But find out the laws in your community. I know that I did a survey with Nashville Cares. You know how they sometimes say you come out and do a survey, and that the topic that we had was all different types of people: black, white, women, men. And some of the things we talked about, the laws here in Tennessee. The laws in Tennessee are pretty much the same. These are kind of standard, you know, and at the time. So people still are getting put in jail for, you know, quote unquote, exposing people to HIV, and then even the he said, she said. So again, I'm going to say it one more time. Find out the laws in your state so you can protect yourself, because you're living with HIV, and living with HIV is not a crime. It is not. Okay?